Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Here in this channel we'll talk about relaxed hair care, hair growth tips, protective styling, and so much more concerning the hair topic in general. So if you know you are interested in this type of content, consider subscribing to join the family. So in today's video we are going to be talking about how to get past a growth plateau, and I'm going to start by defining what a growth plateau is. A growth plateau simply means the rate at which your hair grows is equal to the rate at which your hair breaks. And when it gets to this point, I know some people think that their hair has grown to its maximum potential, that their hair has stopped growing. The truth is, your hair never stops growing. The problem is with breakage. I already have a video on the science of hair growth where I talked about the different stages of hair growth, so you can check out that video if you're interested. So your hair never stops growing. The problem is with length rotation. Yes, a hair strand may shed off after completing its growth cycle, but this usually takes about 6 years. And if your hair grows about half an inch a month or quarter of an inch a month, your hair is going to be way past butt length, thigh length, and all that if you use the 6 years as an example. So your hair never stops growing. And I have a different video where your genetics can actually play a role in your hair length, but even with that you are still expected to see maximum length before your hair sheds off. So the main problem why your hair is stuck at a growth plateau, probably at shoulder length or mid-back length, is not because your hair has grown to its full potential. Your hair never stops growing. The problem is with length retention. That means your hair is breaking at the same rate your hair is growing. I was also at a growth plateau, I think for about 2 years. It was actually scary when I got to that point, because right when I started my hair journey 7 years ago, my plan was to get to tailbone length. So when I got stuck at mid-back length, I was scared. I was like, is this it? Is this it? Is this how I dream of getting tailbone length is going to be flushed down the drain? But I didn't give up. I had to do some things, part of which I'm going to share with you today, because some of the other tips I've shared them in some of my previous videos, so you can check out those videos if you're interested. So I'm going to be sharing some of the tips that helped me to grow my hair past that plateau, and which can help you as well. So the number one thing I'm going to be talking about that can help you take your hair past the growth plateau is change your regimen. Change your routine. Yes, everyone's hair is different. The regimen that works for me may not work for you. I'm not saying to change your regimen simply because someone with tailbone length is using that regimen. I'm saying change your regimen because the current regimen you are using is no longer working for your hair. If you watch my previous videos, one of the things I always talk about is to always listen to your hair. If you are at a growth plateau, it means your hair is telling you this thing is not working again. I don't like this again. You have to do something different. You may use a regimen to grow your hair with the speed of light from scalp length, that's when your hair is just shaved, to mid-back length in just a year. But that regimen may not get you past that. You should know that the longer your hair is, the more intentional you should be with your hair care, because the longer it is, the older the ends are. Meaning, if you've been on a hair journey for 6 years, the ends of your hair are probably 6 years old. So meaning they need extra care compared to the new growth from your scalp. So that's why the first thing you need to review when you want to get your hair past a growth plateau is your hair regimen and routine. It's may not be something complicated. You can just change the duration of your protective styles, how frequent you wash your hair, the products you are using, the type of protective styles. It could be just one thing. For me, when I got to a plateau, prior to that, I was relaxing my hair every 3 months, carrying a protective style for every 6 weeks, and I barely used products like that on my hair. The only thing I was using was a hair cream, soulmate hair cream. I think I've showed that product before on this channel. I'm going to insert the picture if I can find one. So that was the only thing I was using prior to when I got stuck at that plateau. I was not even using any fancy conditioner or shampoo. In fact, the shampoo I was using was a sulfate shampoo. Like I used the sulfate shampoo till my hair got to mid back length. I know I'm not even going to be ashamed about this, okay? Because it was when I got to mid back length that I dived further into hair care. That was when I know the proper meaning of hair care. Yes, I've been doing little bits and bobs here and there to grow my hair, like protective styling and all that. But it was when I got to a plateau that I really knew what my hair needed. That was when I knew that I had to listen to my hair and not had to implement a regimen simply because someone else is using it. So getting a growth plateau may actually be better for you because you have to listen to your hair. You may have been doing what everyone else is doing to grow your hair to that level, but when you get to that length, your hair is going to tell you what it needs. So it's actually a good thing that your hair is at a plateau because when your hair gets here, for most of us, we are curious. We want to grow our hair past this length, and that's when you will start looking for ways to grow your hair past this length. And which actually brings me to my second tip, which is make research. Educate yourself on hair care. There is no way you're going to grow your hair if you don't educate yourself about hair care. Okay, a few of us may be lucky enough to have tremendous length retention without educating ourselves, but this may not actually be due to lack of education. It's due to the fact that they are already implementing the basic principles of hair care without having to research about it. I know of someone who says she does nothing to her hair, she doesn't read books on hair care, and her hair is still bow length. But even without reading books and researching, she was still able to develop a solid regimen for her hair. For example, her hair is always in protective styles, washed, deep conditioned, moisturized, and tucked away in a protective style all year round. So this was what she used to grow her hair to tailbone length. So for her, she may not have educated herself, but she was still able to grow her hair to tailbone length based on the fact that she was already carrying out these basic principles of hair care, if that makes sense. But that's not true for the majority of us. So we all have to educate ourselves. The more you educate yourself about a subject, the more you know about that subject, and the more that subject will be incorporated into your subconscious. The way I take care of my hair today is not the same way I took care of my hair 5 years ago, and that is what the power of education can bring. Sitting down and stressing over why your hair is not growing, why it's stuck at mid-back length, looking at it every day in the morning and praying that it will get past that length is actually not going to do anything. Your hair is not going to magically start going from that point simply because you are crying over it, stressing over it. In fact, the more you stress, the more your hair is going to break, because stress is one of the factors that can lead to increased breakage and shedding. So instead of stressing, why not calm down, research, ask people that have gone on this journey before, that have gone past a plateau. Go on Google, make a research, read books on hair care, go on YouTube. Since you are watching this video, congratulations, you are one step ahead if you've not been doing anything before to educate yourself about hair care. So watch videos like this, go on Google, read books, and the more you educate yourself about this, the more you are going to better develop a regimen that works for your hair, because the more you are going to know what your hair needs according to your hair type, your hair density, hair porosity, and all that. So the next tip I'm going to be talking about is leave your hair alone. I cannot stress this enough. Leave your hair alone. Your hair thrives most when it's left alone, because like I said, a plateau happens when the rate of growth equals the rate of breakage. The more you handle your hair, the more you manipulate your hair, the more breakage you are going to get, because breakage results when the ends of your hair becomes weakened due to wear and tear, friction, over manipulation, dryness and all that. So the more you manipulate your hair, the more you are wearing it out, the more you comb your hair, the more friction you are giving it, and the more fragile it will become, and the more likely it will be to break. And before you know it, you are getting a breakage on a daily basis just from combing your hair, and you start wondering where your road plateau is coming from. So guys, just leave your hair alone. I've seen countless hundreds of people who said their hair began to flourish when they decided to neglect their hair. They got tired of the hair care and all that, and when they decided to neglect their hair, that was when their hair started growing. Guys, it's not because of the fact that they neglected their hair, it's because they left their hair alone. The less you manipulate your hair, the less your ends will wear out, meaning the more stronger it will be compared to when you actually manipulate it, and the less breakage you get. So just leave your hair alone. And if you're an OG on this channel, you know my favorite method of leaving my hair alone, and that is protective styling. I have a whole playlist of protective styling, link down in the description box below, so you can check it out if you are interested. Protective styling is my go-to method of leaving my hair alone. Sew-ins, box braids, twists, wigs, fox locks, name it, any type of protective styling, as long as your ends are tucked away. Remember, the major focus here is length retention, meaning your ends are the target, because if you can retain your length, then the rest is history. Your hair is just going to take off from there. So any protective style at all that protects your ends is the goal. Some of us use low manipulation styles as a method of protective styling. That's not really that right. That's not going to give you you're going to manipulate your hair less, but it's not going to protect your ends. I've already made a video on the difference between low manipulation styles and protective styles. The main difference between these two is that the protective styles, your ends are tucked away. So if you are at a growth plateau, your main focus should be using protective styles, not low manipulation styles, because in low manipulation styles, your ends are still going to be exposed, which is not our goal here. So you have to pick protective styles. Any protective style at all, as long as your end is tucked away, it's fine. So those are the few tips I have in this video on how you can get past a growth plateau. I already have tons of videos on my channel on other tips that can help you get past a growth plateau, so you can check them out if you are interested. And if you watch this video to this point, thank you so much. Please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notification bell so that you can see more content like this from me in the future. So yeah guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.